You join us here at Bluebell. Now, this is a little bit special, mate, because we don't get out very often, do we?
Nope. And it's our first, well, my first time here, your second.
Yeah, my second time, and last time I was here, I didn't actually fish. This is Sandmartin's we're on, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, we're on Sandmartin
I was
today.
fishing mallards. It was quite eventful and had a couple of bangers alongside Rob and obviously Jordan as well. So like Lee said, it's our first time here, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring on our journey over the duration of the next couple of days. We've paid at the moment for, what, 48, is it?
48, yeah, but there is a chance that we might stay a little bit longer. We haven't decided yet.
Why do we choose these pegs, mate? Because there's a big elephant in the room, mate.
So, if you watch the Gigantica video, you know that I'm a bit of a king of manifestation, we'll call it, yeah.
How many times did I pull ball one out of the bag then? And you was all mugging me off.
So we're all taking the mix. So Lee, over the duration of the last 40 hours, been sat there all the way in the car, all the way in the hotel, going, putting his hand in anything, bins, whatever that may be, underneath his bed and going, ball one, mate. He's only went and pulled ball one. Give me a fist bump, mate. Yes.
So as I was walking around, I noticed in Ben's pocket that Tilly was in there. So I've heard Tilly might give us a visit on this video. That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
and we have seen a couple of shows. To be honest, this time of year with the winter, we've got to go on what shows we see. We stood and watched Mallard, for a good hour
We
and a
did,
half.
mate. I think the word to use is imperative to make sure you're sort of in the right zone.
Yeah.
And like you said, Lee was here just before me, so he was there for good 45 minutes. I then come over, we watched Mallard for a little bit longer. Attention was then obviously drawn over to Sandmartin's, and obviously knowing the stock in here was quite exciting as well.
Very deep though, isn't it? And it's deeper than usual. The water level up at the minute is probably about 3-4 foot up easy.
I agree.
Yeah.
And what was it, 21 foot?
Yeah, between 21 and 22 and a half fish generally. To be fair, it's from what we've seen, it's fairly featureless. It goes out and then it deepens off really quick in the margin as well.
It really does. So on that note, be very careful when you are fishing here, whether it's in the summer. You got that little bit too far on your waders, you're in a serious, it could cause a serious problem. But what I would say is, obviously, as we were looking, and the reasons why we've picked these pegs is because we were walking round, and I got a little bit excited, mate. Then I sort of jumped up in the air and went, oh, I've seen one. And it was literally in front of the peg I'm in now, but sort of middle zone, wasn't it? Sort of middle zone. You didn't catch the show, but you saw the flat spot after.
Yeah.
I was like, it's on the flat spot now. And obviously, whether that's old bait, we don't know, do we?
No, but you've got to go on. There's no point sat behind motionless rods for no reason, any kind of form of show. To be fair, we could move 4 or 5 times. It's not actually as big a lake as I thought it was going to be. You know,
I totally agree.
For the stamp of fish that are actually in here, I was expecting a bigger lake, more like, probably, what's the one behind us?
Yeah, so Swan's behind. I would say that's definitely considerably a little bit, it's definitely bigger. It's definitely bigger.
And obviously with Tilly being here, I thought, you know what, it's quite a small lake for that. So you're never going to be too far away from the fish.
So what happens when you turn up? Because being that it's your first time, it's sort of like you get a sticker, don't you?
It's quite different actually, to be honest, because you have to actually leave your van at the shop and then go for a walk. And I believe it's quite frowned upon to be driving around the complex, which, you know what, is actually pretty good, because you don't really want people driving around all the time when you're fishing.
Agree.
So I know it's a bit more of, but then again, it also makes you look more, rather than just driving around the lakes, having a courtesy look out the window. You really gives you that chance to actually stand there and have a real watch of the water. And this time of year, that's the key to catching, isn't it?
For sure. You didn't see something then,
I thought I did then, yeah. We're still watching now.
Yeah, we're facing the lake now, and we've got, and it's probably worth pointing out, so obviously after we come round, we got our bucket, put them in the swims, went back, paid, come back, and sort of in between, obviously going over and paying, we saw 2 more shows, didn't we? So one over the back, so sort of to the right of Lee, if you like, because there's a double, is that a double peg?
It looks a double peg, but it's flooded on the right-hand side.
Yeah, you're right. So in the right-hand side of Lee's peg, we saw a show, and then we've also seen another show sort of in the middle area, getting short. So it was like, no-brainer. This time of year, one show could mean a massive amount. You know, if you see a show, get on it, get round. Not just here at Bluebell, but anywhere. Linear fisheries, that's another one that we fish a lot. And if there's a show, it probably means that it's probably another 1,000, well, particularly linear, 1,000 fish with it. Maybe not so much here.
One thing that is quite shocking, though, for this time of year, we've got 10 degrees air temperature. The water temperature is 7.8 degrees, which for me is fairly warm, to be honest, for December. You know, you're normally looking 4s, 5s.
For sure, for sure.
So the fish could still be on the move. They're definitely up in the water from what we've seen, though.
Yeah, amen, amen. And on that note as well, we are the only people on the lake.
Well, there was 2 more, weren't there?
There was. I don't know whether Lee scared them off or I've scared them off, but there was a gentleman over there, very proactive anglers this time of year. He was on, he even had his rods out. I think he set his bivvy up at one point, didn't he?
Yeah.
And whether he's seen something behind him, but he's on the move again, that gentleman. There is one bivvy over to our right. He's not in there at the moment, whether he's paid and obviously gone to work. I don't know how that works, but there is a bivvy over to our right. But part of that, we've pretty much got the lake to ourselves, haven't we?
I'm quite shocked. Like Norton Disney, even this time of year is really busy. I expected it to be rammed, so you know what? It's a bit of a blessing in disguise, to be fair, for us.
Amen, amen. We went in with zigs. We didn't want to go in. I went, obviously 3 rods each, so I went 2 on a zig and 1 on a bottom bait. One is on a bag, and then obviously I've fished one at around 4 foot and the other one at around 12, being that we've seen them up in the water, and also some fish quite low to the bottom, but primarily most of the fish we've seen have been up in the water. Yeah. And I know you've done pretty much the same, but obviously covering your side, Lee.
Yeah, I'm on 3 zigs, to be honest. This time of year, you can't negate the zigs.
Oh, mate. No, and also, and I'm not going to lie, having the background from the bailiff, I mean, he's also said zigs are great, and I don't think, being that we have no experience on the lake, I'll take in any information I can, and I think it's imperative that, again, I'm using this word again, I think it really is imperative that you do that. A lot of people go, oh no, I'm going to do my own thing. But you've got bailiffs that are on site 24/7, you can't really get better knowledge than that, can you?
They know where fish are coming out. One fish has come out of this lake, hasn't it?
Yes, you're right, Lee, you're right. So one fish come out, I think mid-30 come out, and it's been fishing hard. And I said, how's Mallard been fishing? He said, mate, hard. Everywhere's hard on the complex at the moment. But it's kind of expected this time of year, mate.
No, exactly.
It really is.
Won't be no fun, though, if it was easy all the time, would it?
For sure, for sure. So it really is going to be exciting if we can nick a few fish, because, like I said, there truly is some absolute bangers. When it comes to technology, I know the old school angler, including myself, almost to a degree, it's almost frowned upon. But in my eyes now, the world's evolving, and if you can use technology to your advantage when it comes to carp angling, it's something I now use on a weekly basis. So I've got an app on my phone that's called Compass. Now the first thing I do is obviously track where the wind's going. So you can hold your phone and you can see by the arrow on your phone, and as you're moving it, exactly where that wind's coming. Now when I've done that and I've found out exactly where the wind's coming from, I can then go back on to the weather app. I'll go on there then and I can obviously track my days. So I can go on there and go, right, I know I've got a southwesterly coming in, not just for today, but I've got a southwesterly coming in for the duration in the next 3 days. So whether that means you can sit off the back of the wind or whether you sit on the wind, because obviously a southwesterly normally is a warmer wind. But I mean, what we've seen is they've been sitting off the back of the wind, which is where we've seen the shows. So sort of back here, so we're off the back of the wind, and obviously the wind is trickling in to the right-hand side of the lake from where I'm standing now. So again, a little edge that you can use in your own angling. Doesn't cost you anything. Like I said, I've literally got the app there, and I'd use this week in, week out, and especially this time of year. Go on the app, like I said, Compass, go check it out. I know a lot of people that watch us on a weekly basis really don't like bait boats, but we're here, and Lee's brung Titanic with him. Look at that, it's an RT4, and it's a serious bit of kit. But less of that. Earlier, when we obviously turned up, we took the boat out. It was the first thing we done. Got everything set up, the bivvy, the base camp set up. The rods, didn't even think about getting them out, because the last thing I wanted to do is start smashing a lead around this time of year and potentially pushing the fish out the swim. So he's went out with the boat very quickly, not too long, and sort of just went out and went on, because obviously the other problem I've got with me as well, and again, you're probably seeing it on the screen now, is the tree line. So I'm sort of a little bit restricted to where I can cast, because when I'm fishing zigs, I prefer to cast them. I know you can put them out of a boat and use the fancy spools that drop it, but it's just not me. Each their own, but it's just not me. So I've obviously got to take that into account, where I'm fishing and where I'm casting from. So I thought we'd go straight out in the front of the peg, and we did. And immediately we started seeing fish around, it was around sort of like 12 foot off the bottom. So it was like, definitely gonna have a rod at 12 foot. So that brings you to my middle rod. So my middle rod, directly in front of the swim, is there's 2 reed lines that come in, and there's a peg in the middle. So that's what my marker is. So I've got one directly on that peg. To the left of it, we also saw fish around sort of just off the bottom, around 4 foot. So again, no brainer. Had a 4-foot zig out there. So I've got one at 4, one at 12, and I thought to cover all bases, just off that as well, because the fish, if they're 4 foot off the bottom, they're very close to the bottom. But using products like the Flat Spot and liquid foods, it's only going to pull them down in the water. So what I did is with the right hand rod, I fished a PVA bag, injected it, and that is what I put out just to the right of the spot. So like I said, I've got all bases covered. Now, one thing I will say here, you've got plenty of space in your pegs. Now I've got it I'm all set up here. I've got my frontier. Massive shout out to Fox as well, because I didn't have one. I actually broke it, and now I've got one again. So all I can do is just thank Fox for that. So massive shout out to you. But over there, I've got my barrow, and again, accessibility to the peg was really easy, because there's actually a car park over to my right now, where we've parked up, and it was a short journey on a barrow, and bang, we were here. And also, we've had to come back, like I've mentioned, the water level was definitely up, or Lee mentioned, it's come up a couple of foot, so we had to take that into account as well. And I've actually put my rods a little bit further out, but it's definitely going to be a waded jobby later on if we do hook up into something, just in case she kites left or right, or he kites left or right, just to make sure we're 110%. So that's enough of my peg. What I am going to do is now, why don't we pop over to Lee and see exactly what he's doing, and he's going to show you a little bit of his peg as well. Quite convenient, because Lee's peg is just there. And here he is.
Hello, hello.
All right, mate.
Yeah, good. Just watching.
So talk to me then, Lee. I mean, what's going on down here, mate?
Well, what's
that's not like you.
No, I'm just watching for a little bit at the minute, just seeing if I can see any shows. So I've got my third rod ready to go if I need it, but it's one of them, innit? It's just capitalise on the moment at the minute. But to be fair, I'm gutted, because I've left me 2+1s at home, so I really wanted my rods out in the water, but it's going to have to be pod tackle. The peg's quite flooded.
Got to do what you got to do, mate.
So yeah, the waders are ready though, so I'll be in there if I need to be, because it's quite shallow, like in the edge, before it drops off dramatically. Last thing you want to be doing is trying to fight fish in such shallow water, so get the waders on and get out there, and hopefully it's not too long.
It would be nice.
Pretty much doing similar to you though. We've seen where the fish are. They're pretty up in the water at the minute. Like, I think there was, what was it, about 9 foot under the surface? For sure,
which worked out around 12 foot on a zig front, didn't it?
Yeah, so I've got a 4-foot zig tied up. I've got an 11 foot and a 9 foot zig, so.
It was worth touching on as well with your boat. You've got like that, this is all new to me, Lee, the humps with the fish. So like the red humps, so that was interesting.
Explaining to you one day about how you basically see the arcs, and that's where a fish is. Because a lot of the time on a sonar, it looks like fish, and it's not. It's just disturbance on the sonar. And it's like when you see the bright red arc, that's when you know that is a positive fish indication.
Definitely made us a bit twitchy. Definitely made me a bit twitchy. Like, oh my God, that's a carp in your swim, man. Yeah, knowing that they're there makes it even more special.
We've seen one quite short as well on the shelf. So maybe later on, if I've not seen anything to go on with this third rod, what I'll do is probably chuck short, maybe 40 yards, chuck short with a solid bag, put that on that down slope as it goes down into that deep gully. I think that'll be the plan with that for tonight.
So if I look over here, you can see what Lee was saying about in regards to obviously the water right up. It's got to be 2, 3, maybe 4 foot, mate, isn't it, really?
Yes.
But the show we saw was sort of maybe over the back there, so the tip of my finger is where it was. And obviously at the time, terrible video in here, guys, but I'm keeping this raw for you. We were actually on this bank, so we were actually on that bank, and like I said, we've done a couple of laps, and we see it all the way from over there. And that's where the shows were. And also the other shows were sort of in front of here, and obviously in front of here, and obviously the mind reassurance of obviously that boat. It was like you said, no brainer.
To be fair, like there's such like a hatred or an anti-boat culture nowadays.
There really is, mate.
And
there truly is.
The reality of it is, though, if you're on a lake that allows you to use boats and you're not using boats, then you're at a massive disadvantage. You know,
agree.
To be fair, personally, I prefer to angle without a boat. But I will never turn up to water that you can use a boat on and not use a boat, because you're cutting yourself short. And at the end of the day, we're here to catch fish. I know some people might see it as, catch fish at all costs, but each to their own in their angling. You know, do what's right. If you don't want to use a boat, you know, don't use one. But if they're a great piece of kit to use when you need them.
For sure. So there it is, a little bit more of an insight into Lee's peg and exactly what he's doing. And hopefully the ParkerBaits does its due, and we can get a few nosser pigs on the bank. over the next couple of days. Well, you see me sat by my rods, loving life, and I can almost smell Tilly by my zig. Lee's having a bit of a recast over, and as you can see, the light is definitely fading. And it's not even 4 o'clock yet, but I'm going to have a little play now and redo them rods, I think. Whether I get any footage of them, I don't know, but I might set the camera up. So you might see that in a second. But yeah, it's good that he's had a bit of an occurrence. That was on a 4-foot zig, so fingers crossed tonight brings something. But like I said, we've got to act fast now because it's all going to it's all going to turn very quickly, very soon, because it just gets dark so quick. Well, I'm not going to lie, it took me a couple of goes to get the right hand rod. Left hand rod went out first time, and the middle rod went out as well. But coming over here now, and I'll show you in a second because I've got some dinner. It's a curry. So there it is, there's dinner. Looking forward to that. Spicy curry and rice. He's put it all in one dish, which makes life that little bit more easier. I'm going to enjoy that now. That'll warm me up because it's definitely getting colder. You can feel it. Like I said, I told you it got dark really quickly. As you can see, it's pretty dark. Good night's sleep, to be fair. Wow, a bit up and down, but I'm here. And got back to the bivvy yesterday, probably stayed up after a curry 2-3 hours maybe. Just listened. Didn't hear much at all. There's a lot of bird life, so you're up against that. Old Lee's sound over there at the moment, but I'm watching the water the last, I don't know, only an hour, something like that, not long. Again, don't get lights till about 7:30. So yeah, got a busy. Excuse me. Got a busy day today. We got a lot of social media stuff to get done, reels and Instagram and Facebook and loads of bits and bobs. So that's the plan of action day. Pictures of clothing. This is one of our new clothing here. Lovely. It's got like a fluffy inline, obviously our crest on it. Got to sort that out as well. So yeah, we're going to do that this afternoon or this morning. That's probably going to take hours and hours, but I'm quite looking forward to that. And like I said, it's quite nice. That's where Lee comes into his own, really. You're not getting better than Lee when it comes to pictures. So yeah, so I'm quite looking forward to that. So we've got pictures, reels, and obviously keeping this vlog rolling. So you're going to find that it will be a little bit bitty today, but there's only so much you can do. And obviously while we're doing this, we're going to have the rods out. What I know with, I've literally just seen a fish show right in front of me. That wasn't big at all, and it was also very tenchy. That was very tenchy. That must have been. I can't believe that. 6 wraps out in front of me, as if. Yeah, that wasn't a carp, for sure. So yeah, excuse me. I do apologise for me yawning, but yeah, that's where I'm at. And that is the plan of action today, and to get some work done, for sure. So I'm gonna get a coffee in a minute. I'm gonna keep watching the water because it was around this time yesterday we saw them shows between sort of. You remember when you turn up, you got to get your sticker, go over to you go to the shop, get your sticker, then you can walk around for a couple of hours, and you got to put it in the peg, then you go back, then you get your card, then you come back to the peg, which I think's great. And it was in between getting the sticker and obviously walking around, so between sort of 8:30 and 10-ish, 11-ish, sort of around them sort of times is where we saw the fish in there in front of this body of water. So hopefully that repeats today, and being that we're actually round it now, not one end or the other, you can actually zone into exactly where that show was. So that's what I'm going to do the next sort of 45 minutes. Well, sorry. And how many people are going, right, let's be on the camera now. Yawning's contagious. It truly is. So yeah, that's the plan of action. And I'll hopefully see you very soon with a nosy. Here he is. Morning, mate.
Morning. We had a bit of a quiet night, didn't we, to be fair, pal?
Oh, we did, mate. We did.
I didn't expect that, though, you know.
No, neither did I. Neither did I. Especially sort of going down very mild. Like we said yesterday, everything was on point, wasn't it, really?
Definitely. I thought we'd had the shows, you know. One in the area, there's a few in the area. That didn't work for us, to be fair. But we have just seen a show.
We have, mate. A proper show.
A decent fish as well. It's a big fish. So just currently in the process of tying a few solid bags up. I've run out of solid bags, so Ben's come to the rescue and borrowed some. So I need to get some. That's how underprepared I am for today. But yeah, we're just got a little number here that everybody's not seen yet on the ParkerBaits channel, have they?
Unless they've been on TikTok, Lee.
So on that number, get yourself on TikTok.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got ourselves our little mini solid bag scoop that'll be coming to the website pretty soon, or it might even be on the website by the time you've watched this video.
Yeah, they're perfect, mate. It's something we've been playing around with for a long period of time, having the perfect scoop for the PVA bag scenario, and yeah, we've done it.
Yeah, and for the first time, hopefully, in this session, we've got the perfect brew made by Ben Parker.
I don't know about that, mate. I don't know about that.
I've been on brew duties, cooking duties.
Oh, mate, it's yeah. I'm not very good when it comes to that sector, but yeah, I'm going to do my best to make you a nice coffee in a minute.
Call me Caravan Carpers, call me Cinderella after this.
You've already told me off, mate. There's a spoon for your coffee. I'm like, yeah, all right, mate.
Yeah, Tom, whatever's been going on with Ben, he needs to be less feral, mate. There's a spoon included here.
Less feral.
Tipping coffee like that.
Brilliant.
No, that's not how we operate at Caravan Carpers.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not.
No, right, well, I'm going to get on and make some solid bags and get these out on this spot because they are feeding fish. We've seen them come up, clear the gill rakers and the back down. There's a few bubbles out there, so need to capitalise on this now and hopefully get a couple of bags on top of them. And fingers crossed. It's a bit colder today, to be honest.
It definitely is, mate. And it's funny, I think one thing worth pointing out from my perspective was the delay between them showing and obviously then going down, obviously where it's so deep.
Yeah,
it was, 15, 20 seconds, and then the bubbles come up, which is mad, isn't it? Which is as an indicator to show that they're feeding on the bottom, like you just mentioned.
Yeah. And that's another thing as well, like when you're fishing things like maggots and that. What people don't realise in that depth of water, by the time it's got down, it's massive. Like when we were at the caravan and obviously you put maggots in, you put bait in, it's crystal clear. You can see the bottom in like 9-10 foot.
Yeah.
You actually don't realise how long the bait takes to hit the bottom. And also when obviously it's quite a long thin lake with a tow as well. You drop the bait in and you go, oh yeah, that's bang on the spot. Because you put it in, I put it in with a ParkerBaiter, to be honest. And then I can run around and watch it. And it's literally gone. That's another thing you've got to watch is the undertow as well, especially in 22 foot of depth. Imagine spodding over the top of that and how far your bait's gone away from
amen.
where you are.
You had your target fish though, mate, didn't you, from there?
What? Oh yeah. Bit of a nightmare on that one, to be honest.
A bit of a sore subject, but it happened.
Yeah, three years I've been after this fish, and it's 40-plus-year-old, so it's starting to drop weight now. So you know what that means. It's coming to the end slowly, and I managed to have it after 3 years. And the rats had been having loads of bream, so the rats had ate my net with all the bream slime, and as I netted it went through the net, round the back of the stanchion, tangled me up, and yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. So I managed to get it out. Obviously it's an old fish and I'd stressed it, so then I realised that I didn't have my camera with me. I'd forgot my camera, so I thought, no, let it go. I just let it go. So I know I've had it, but I've not got the picture.
But no, fair play, mate. Fair play. I got the call the next day, and you could tell by your voice you're one happy man, but obviously a little bit devoed at the same time.
But
at
the same time, it went back in the lake safe.
Amen.
Know, with the debacle what we had, I'm just glad it went back safe. That was all that was bothered to me.
For sure. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, man. Right, well, I'm going to get on, get these bags done.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lee from ParkerBaits and I'm with Ben Parker.
Sorry, Pen. Come over here, mate. You're supposed to be over here. It's not where you're supposed to be. Yeah, you come over here, mate. Yeah. Your name's Ben, okay? And yeah, I'm gonna help you back into your bivvy, mate. Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
You're a good lad.
Thank you, mate. Well, as you can see, myself and Lee are having a while of a time together. We don't get out much, as you can see, but we certainly don't get out much together, which is lovely. He's one end of the country, I'm the other. So we've just done our manly photo shoot with the camera there, and it just went down a treat. Knocked it out really quickly. I mean the pictures when I say that. So what we're going to do is now, we are going to touch on a few, well actually no, I'm not going to touch on anything to a little bit later on in this video, but what we are going to do now, we've got some Instagram reels to do, mate.
Yeah.
Haven't we? So that's the plan of action. Now then, Tom's given us an almighty Bible list, and it's about the size of a Bible. It's massive, the list. So.
I'll send him the text. We could put the text on the screen, couldn't we? He sent us a list of all the things that
Yes,
need doing.
he did.
And I said, Tom, we're going on a 48, mate, not a month.
You did, yeah. We've got 365 days to shoot this. That's Tom. Much love to him. And I know when you're watching this, mate, you're going to be going at the screen. Look, we're going to get it done, and we're getting it done now, mate. So bear with us. Bosh. Right. Well, you can see my new jumper on here. I've not just been using the TikTok platform for obviously ParkerBaits and enjoying speaking to you guys on our lives, but I've been treating myself, and I got this lovely furry in line one. It cost me 15 quid. I said to Lee, I'm telling everyone, I said to Lee, I goes through to check this bad boy out. And yeah, he was well impressed for 15 quid. You can't go wrong. I love a bargain, me. So what am I going to do tonight and what's coming in? So we've got this temperature sort of drop at the moment. Massive. It's still mild for this time of year, but obviously you've got this sort of southerly wind trickling across the lake. Now tonight it moved up to 40 mile per hour wind, so it's going to be quite sort of windy tonight, if you like. So I want to get my rods out around 3 o'clock, which gives me then about an hour to get them done and get them 110%. No, it's not going to take me that long, but yesterday was all a big mad rush, and I don't like rushing, if I'm honest with you. So what am I going to do tonight? I'm going to fish in front of me again. I'm going to fish one on the bottom and one sort of just off the bottom. Now you're probably thinking, well, what makes you want to do that, Ben? Well, every single line I had last night was on my bottom bait, so a PVA bag. That was on the only one I had on the bottom. All my liners come on that, so I think it's a no-brainer to fish one on the bottom. And I said to Lee, it's all right to take your boat over. So with his sonar set up on it, so he's taken that boat over directly where I was fishing, and I know where it was because it was 24 foot or just under 23.8 foot. The depth was, so I know exactly where I was. As long as I line up with the tree line, there's like this gap in the tree. So he's pulled over and it started pinging fish about 5 foot off the bottom. So that's the, I don't know about science, but the reason why I'm using and going to do what, so the reason why I'm going to do what I'm going to do tonight is going to keep one on the bottom and then one just to the right of that, but just off the deck. And I think that's how I'm going to go in tonight. And I'm also going to fish another zig, but I'm going to fish in 12 foot because the shows that we have seen, sorry, maybe not the shows we've seen, but the indications on the boat from sort of more in front of Lee's water have all been around that sort of 12 foot. We haven't seen much on there, but like I said yesterday, it's all very technical and something I'm not really used to be honest, because I haven't got a fancy boat, the RT4 with all the gubbins on it, if you like. So out in front of me there was this, like these, say half semicircles, and it's red, and you can indicate then that is a fish. Now we've seen a few of them and they've all been around that 12 foot like I just mentioned, so I think it would be a no-brainer. Although they're not out in front of me, it tells me that them fish are sitting up, I guess, around that sort of height. So right hand rod's going to be a 12 foot zig, middle rod's going to be a 5 foot zig, and then the left hand rod is going to be on the bottom. Now I don't know if this is 100%, but before I just start this shot as well, I think Lee's going to go in with bags tonight, but again I'll probably touch base with you later on this evening or maybe tomorrow morning with exactly what he's done, because he's going to fish differently, and I think when you've got two of you can use things to your advantage and fish completely different. Me and Lee fish very different anyway, but what I'm trying to put across is if maybe one of you sort of clocks onto something and it starts catching your fish, then as mates, then you can obviously move all your rods onto that scenario, whether that be 5 foot zigs or bottom baits or a certain colour hook bait. You can use that to your advantage, and something going into them colder months. I know I use the word a lot, but I think it's imperative in your angling, because it's all very well going, no, I'm doing it my way, but if the geezer's next to you catching and you're not, then in my eyes use your brain and copy. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's the update for now. We just had a lovely brew to try and warm ourselves up. I mean, just one thing I will say is just the temperature. Let's have a little look. Now, I keep moaning about the cold. It's not cold. It's 10 degrees. It's 999. So not 999. Take that how you want to take it. So 4, 5, 6, 9 degrees. Then it goes down to 8. Actually, then because of the wind, and it goes 999. Now hear this. Through the night. So 12 o'clock. It's 10 degrees. Now I'll pull forward a little bit. 4 in the morning, it's now 12 degrees. 7 in the morning, it's 13 degrees. So it actually gets hotter than what it is now, which is crazy, really. So I'm going to screenshot that now, and you can see that on the screen right now, exactly how it goes. But it's quite interesting, that, really. And this is what I was saying to you. Worth having a look on there and seeing what them temperatures are doing and where the wind is blowing. So that's the update. I'll see you in a bit. So, believe it or not, it looks quite light now, but I'm just getting ready. There's the weight, it's all rolled down there. Rods are in, that water's dropped to our advantage, but you can see my tips when I first started were under the water, so it's probably, I don't know, 4, 5 inches maybe. It's starting to go down. But yeah, the rods are out. I'm so glad I got them out before it was too dark. Like I said yesterday, I messed up. It was just didn't get it right. And then you're sort of funny-arsing around doing it in the pitch black. It's not ideal. But yeah, more confident in that left-hand rod. It's went out lovely. So I've done exactly what I said earlier I've done. And that middle rod went out next to that. Really, really, really nice. I couldn't have grumbled, really. It went out lovely. T's over to my right, as you can see over there. And I know he's just getting his last rod out now. I think I would say here as well that I haven't mentioned already. If I come to the back of the swim. Now, over there is where, that's my van there, there's Lee. So, again, it's quite easy to get here where you are. And some of the pegs you can actually get right up behind the peg. So, it is disabled friendly in some means. So, I know a lot of people watch our channel with additional needs. And I'm all for that as well. And I'm all for giving you a bit more of an insight in regards to what the pegs are like and accessibility. So over there is where, when we first started, I said to the bailiff, I said, has it done a bite? He reckons this bank done a bite the weekend, and that's the old it's done in a while because it's been fishing really hard. But first night done, going into the second night, what is it going to bring? Is it going to bring, I think it's a fish because I've been looking, is it going to bring cluster? And someone I know actually has had that fish, and it was like £48 or something stupid like that. I mean, I'll put that up on the screen now. What a banger that is. What a banger. And also, I think it's Tilly. That common is just different gravy. And again, I'll pop that up on the screen now. What a fish that is. What a fish that is. So, without further ado, going to sit back now. As I always say, lock onto the water. And hopefully, just hopefully, one of them Nosser pigs comes tonight. Whoop, whoop. Well, me and Lee have been naughty. It is Christmas, and I'm making most of takeaways because going into next year, I need to be more sensible and sort my life out. So, cheesy chips, a couple of cans, some chilli and some garlic. What'd you get, mate?
Sweet chilli chicken.
Sweet chilli chicken. Now we're steaming.
Only thing I've done there is really messed up when you ate pineapple.
Oh no. And a seafood pizza, of course. Dinner with a very dark view, but we're both happy. Well, good morning. I've been up and watching the water, and it's just been carnage, absolute carnage. The winds are crazy. I don't know the mile per hour on the winds, but my bivvy is shaking, and I've just had to put my tip down on the rod there and bits of twig, just to be very careful really with what I'm doing and keeping an eye out for obvious reasons. But there's big old twigs getting moved and sort of getting caught on the line over here. You can just about see that there. But yeah, no real shows, a few beeps last night, and I think again it's been hard. There's a zig there, you can see it was just clipped to the top of my bivvy. But this is when I keep seeing them every morning, just to the right of my swim, which is sort of just over here. So I'm gonna keep my eyes open and just watch. good morning. Oh, Lee definitely looks after us. Look, I've got a porridge pot there. Now a quick cheap breakfast. 60p told me these cost yesterday, which I think's absolutely brilliant. They fill you up, and obviously a nice coffee with a nice view. I've been watching, mate, and I've just not seen a thing this morning. I've not seen a thing. It's a lovely warm wind, that southwesterly south wind coming in. It's beautifully warm out there. They sat on the end of it, over the back over here. There's a guy here, and there's obviously a guy in the corner. Of course there was going to be. So moving is definitely not an option now, unless I see him elsewhere. But I am going to keep watching, because it's over this duration in the next sort of hour and a half, 2 hours, where we see most of the shows from day dot of getting here. Not yesterday, the day before. It's been a hard one, but it's been lovely to get back up Bluebell. I really don't know what's happening today, whether I stay on for another night or whether I go. I've got the option of staying, but to be honest with you, I might just call it, because I've got quite a lot of stuff to get ready. And it's also the staff do tomorrow night. We're all going out for a Chinese as a family, as a team, so I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm going to keep watching, enjoy my porridge now, and have a drink. My nice, warm coffee. Lovely.
A little bit of a morning update for you then. So plan of action is I'm going home today, so Ben might be staying on for the night, but it's been really quiet. It's been really, really windy overnight. But what we have just seen is in this area here, I thought it at first, because the wind's howling through here at the minute, I didn't know if it was the wind like rolling the top of the water off. I thought, bloody hell, that was a bit of spray, and I thought, was it a show? And then we kept watching the water, me and Ben, and I'm just trying to see if we can see any more now, but there was 4 shoals in a row, and that's the corner I said, I reckoned at the start when me and Ben were walking round, I thought there'd be the fish held up in that corner, because it looked like the most sheltered part of it with the reeds where it's flooded. Anyway, Ben's just going to run round there now. I'm going home today, so hopefully Ben can get a bucket in there. We'll pack all the gear up, get ourselves around there and get Ben set up in there, and hopefully can have a few nossers. We'll keep you updated on how it goes. Right, so that was pretty easily decided. So we've actually seen 5 shows now on the opposite side where I've showed you, and Ben's coming round now. I'm going home today anyway. Ben might stay another night, so this could be a massive defining point really in the trip, because on a lake like this, we've been told by people that Sandmartin's really hard in the summer, let alone in the winter. So 5 shows is something that you've got to move on that, do you know what I mean? So we're both going to pack down. I'm going to leave my stuff in the van anyway, and we're going to see if we can have a fish over there. You know, it might be a different trip after this move, so fingers crossed. Fingers crossed the nossers are over in that corner and we manage to have a couple. But yeah, we'll keep you updated and we'll let you know how it goes. So tell us what the plan of action is then, Ben.
Whipping together bags ASAP, like just sharp hooks, just making sure everything's on point, and then I'm frantically getting the rods out. To be honest with you, I don't know if I'm going to do the night. I think I'm going to do the next couple of hours. In a second, I've got to extend my ticket later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally running some shrink tube up here, really making it really aggressive. I'm literally going to make some real short ones on here. Whip that up in a second like that. Little natural magic beans on there, the sandy colours, because I know there's going to be loads of debris over there, because all the leaves, all the trees, everything seems to be falling on the rods today, so it's going to be falling on the bottom of the lake bed. We've seen them fish, we've been proactive, we've come round, and I've literally just quickly thrown everything in here just so I've got some shout to obviously tie my rigs up. And I haven't seen any fish since I've been round here, but the 2 rods that I haven't been able to capture have gone out absolutely cock on. The left hand rod has literally touched the reeds, went into the reeds, and I've obviously pulled it out, got a drop, lovely jubbly. Right hand rod's fishing just off, which is exactly where I've seen him show. This one's going to go crack bang in the middle now, but again off the reeds. So that's the plan of action. I'm going to crack on now, whip this up, and yeah, get it rod out.
I reckon that was pretty much on the money.
Yeah, I think it was, mate. I think it was. Right, cutting this line up. So what I've done is I've sprayed the bags. I've done them sort of all around that area. I physically can't do much more than that than what I've done. And also I've double bagged as well. Take that as you want to take it. I've double wrapped it. And the reason for that is you can be a little bit more aggressive now. I know for a fact that hasn't broke down yet, that bag. So when you're doing all your line laying, putting your tip down and putting all the lines straight, you can be that little bit more aggressive with it. Just turn that off. Turn it down, should I say. That on. Job's a good one. Turn that back up. Can't do much more than that, baby. Talk about being proactive. We've definitely been proactive, Lee and all. But yeah, now to enjoy the last little bits now of this session, because I think I've come to the conclusion I'm not going to do the night, if I'm honest. I need to get back. I've got a long drive, and also tomorrow I've got the staff do. I think I've already mentioned that in this video already, so I'm going to probably do like a shift at work tomorrow, and then obviously go out in the evening. So sun's coming through. The first time I've been squinting the whole session because it's been so cloudy, but really it's nice to see a little bit of blue sky. Well, it's very cloudy in front of me. I've got like broken bits of blue through the clouds, and it's lovely. So is that big one going to be over there, or is a fish going to just something going to be over there, and can I nick one before I leave? Fingers crossed. Come on the Nossapigs, come on the magic beans. Lee has now gone. It is now 12:30, and I've got till 6 o'clock. The gentleman just come round. I said, reeled in the rods, went up. Excuse me. Reeled in the rods, went up, and nobody's at the shop, so I pressed the ring doorbell, and the gentleman answered. He said, "Are you, mate?" And I said, "Oh, can I send my ticket?" He said, yeah, no problem. He said, "I'll come round." He said, "Do you want anything from the shop?" I was like, "Oh, possible for a couple of cans of Coke." Because at that time, Lee was here. So I was like, "Yeah, a couple of cans of Coke. Be much appreciated." And yeah, he literally just come round, 2 cans of Coke. I'll tell you what, that's good customer service. And paid the man. And like I said, I've got till about 6 o'clock tonight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting home tonight and being back in my own bed for sure, but having a proper shower, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm stinking a bit. I am stinking a bit. There's no denying that. But yeah, I'm not gonna get loads of B-roll. I'm not gonna sit here and sort of talk to the camera. What I am gonna do is I need to sit here and lock on the next 3 or 4 hours, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Obviously, I'll let you know before I leave. But hopefully, I'm letting you know when I've caught fish. If I see any signs of fish, which I haven't done since I've been in the peg. It was an early bit this morning where I see them shows, what you normally do, and have done every morning since I've been here, or the last couple of mornings since I've been here. They've all been in that sort of between sort of 7 and 9, and that's what that gap is when I've obviously seen the fish and seen them showing. And this morning obviously saw that, and it was like pack up, like Lee said, get the howl around it, which is what I've done. So the rods are out, they're on the money. I can't do no more than that. But what I am going to do is, like I said, watch the water, lock onto the water, as I say. And unless something gives me a sign to do something about it, then I'm literally going to leave the rods where they are and hope and pray. Now, hope and pray. I've got the best of the best out there now. I can't do no much more than that. I'm fishing the damn sight shallower water than I was over there. I was in 24 foot of water. Now, I'm definitely not in 24 foot of water. I can tell you bang on, but let's just say it's considerably shallower than what it is over there, to say the least. Hence why the fish are probably there. Also, when you watch the sun come up in the morning, it's shining on these reeds, so it's going to pull the fish into them reeds for sure. And they were there this morning. So yeah, look, I'm waffling. I'm going to leave it at that. I've just had a beep. Leave it at that, watch the water, and just cross everything. Just hope and pray. But if I don't see you before, I'll see you just before I leave. Come on. Right, well, I'm not going to lie, I am going to call it a day, guys. I've literally got everything here, look, behind the sort of semi-loaded, just a bivvy to pack down, and a few other little bits and bobs. I know this hasn't been the most informative, or maybe the longest, or maybe even action-packed video. Well, at that time of the year, well, things get a little bit harder now. Let's be honest. A week before Christmas. So at this point, when you're watching this, hopefully everybody's had a lovely Christmas. I truly do. Hope you had a lovely Christmas and a New Year. and hopefully many Nosser pigs going into this year for everybody watching us and supporting the ParkerBaits YouTube channel. So for now, that's me done. A long journey home, and it is a long journey home from here, because this definitely isn't a local one, not an hour out the road like, say, Linear Fisheries or what have you. But I'll give you a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward. And I'll see you all very soon. Peace out.